and other organizations that we are a part of or connected to, Freedom Inc. Operation Welcome Home, Madtown CRT, and other folks that we do grassroots organizing work with. And Young and Black, it is, we understand that right now we are actually, the Black community is faced with a human rights crisis, right? And so we understand that and the Black Lives Matter movement as a whole offers us a way to begin to think about that crisis. The Black Lives Matter movement and other folks are saying, you know, what's happening? What's actually happening is state violence, right? How is the state's actors and other folks sanctioned by the state acting out aggressively or acting out violence, whether it be interpersonally or institutionally against the Black community? We know state violence is happening here in Madison. Too often you'll hear things like, oh, well, we're not Ferguson, or we're not Chicago, we're not these other places. Madison is, you know, people say Madison is better, we don't have those problems. But we know that state violence exists because to prove or to demonstrate that state violence is present, all you have to do is show disparity or disproportionality. Right, and we've done that. There's the Race to Equity report, which shows across the board, whether you look at education, incarceration, poverty, health disparities, any issue you can name, Black people are in the worst position. Black people are experiencing a disparity or have a disproportionate outcome. Because of that, and sort of extending your comments, we have thought critically about what is the root issue here. Right? And so my ancestors, people who have come before me, as Gary mentioned, as you pointed out, have fought very hard in the past to create some change. So certainly we have seen gains, right? We live in a country, and my ancestors have been part of and led a movement to abolish chattel slavery, for example. So we know that we as people have the capacity and the possibility to actually end or abolish a particular institution or a particular thing that disenfranchises or is violent against the Black community. But what we also witness is these things still surface and these things still come up, right? So we got rid of chattel enslavement, but now we are faced with mass incarceration and a prison violence that is causing a human rights crisis on our Black community. So what we understand to be the fundamental problem, why does this thing keep happening, is because Black people have not taken power, right? So we know that we have the power to, as a community, as a country, to abolish the worst of systems. We've seen it, we've witnessed it. But what has not happened has been a transference of power to the Black community. Without the transference of power, we will continue to see institutions that are developed and nourished and growing that are violent against the Black community until the Black community has complete power to self-determine, to have community control over the police, to have community control over our education, over our wealth, over our development, and a host of other issues. We will continue to be made, or continue to receive violence, or continue to be disenfranchised. And that exact thing, that exact power disparity of that the Black community is experiencing is happening here. So here you have a city where white people are doing phenomenal. Yep. You have a city where there's tons of resources, where there is no shortage of thinkers. Madison is not short on thinkers, right? And there's no shortage of well-meaning white people. What there is a shortage of is Black power. The Black community does not have the power here to self-determine or to actualize what it is that our communities need. And because of that, you continue to see the same disparities that we've witnessed nationally and also historically happening here in Madison.